Brakathea Hawa, Brakathea Shai, Brakathea Hawa, Brakathea Shai, Brakathea Hawa, Brakathea Hawa, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Chakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, True Bow. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shaman. This week's topic is going to be entitled, Will Nero return / Trump back in office? The reason I'm calling it that, we believe that, the dude Donald Trump is Nero coming back in a reincarnation. And there's heavy support for this guy. His presidency is 4 years. Depending on where you stand, you might see it like, man, this is one of the sort of best years America had because the dude had the economy booming. He's a pure nationalist. He tells the nations fuck off. And most importantly, he divides the kingdom. Well, he's not trying to divide the kingdom, but basically you gotta understand, like, the new world order, or the elites, if you will, they're not in unison. You have different factions, right? Like if you ever watched that movie Blade, you had the Blade 1, you had the old vampires and the new vampire. They were both vampires, wanted to rule the humans, but they were sort of like had different agendas and ways about it. So it's the same shit with, this political thing, man. Not every single Rothschild is on each side. They cutthroat, they snakes, they trying to stab each other in the back. Very reminiscent of Game of Thrones. So when he goes in office, the media is gonna stir shit up and, label him this, label him that. And you can see the hypocrisy because you got this dude, Hunter Biden, his laptop. If they took it serious, that whole Biden family, crime family, would have been locked up. But they doing whatever to lock this dude up. Why? Because when he's in office, again, there's no wars. So people like the military-industrial complex from Northrop Grumman to Boeing and all these different, they can't make their money. Wars profit. That's how come they're not meant to be ended. They're meant to be prolonged and keep going. So you have different billionaires and shit like that don't want him in there. But then also, again, you have billionaires that do want him in there. So that's where that power struggle come. But mainly, the media, people that control the narrative, your Washington Post, your YouTube, your Google, they tend to lean left. And I'm not saying they lean left because they're always left. Whatever, if you with the agenda, they'll lean left or right. But right now, this dude Nero, Trump, he likes to sort of go off script a little bit sometimes. So they trying to lock him up. Got people out there protesting 2024. I think it's either going to be him or DeSantis up in there, man. That's what I think. Or either it's going to be him, DeSantis, or it's going to be Sleepy Joe or Kamala again. So, or maybe Joe drop dead and Kamala get up in there. Let's see how they play it out, But yeah, if he gets back in there, then all hell's going to break loose, man. This shit is going to truly be divided, So this is Luke 11:18, but he knowing their thoughts said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Every single kingdom wants to divide it, it's over. That's how the Assyrian Empire went down. There was, you had guys kept assassinating each other. That's how our kingdom went down, right? When I say our, I'm talking about you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites. Our kingdom was divided, north against south. And from there it fell. So once you start dividing the kingdom up, it's going to fall. You got to be in agreement in your kingdom. Amos 3:3, can two walk together unless they be agreed? So once that disagreement start coming in there, then civil unrest and so on, It says, if Satan, divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. So we seeing a downfall of this kingdom because they're not in unison, man. I'll say one thing: this dude Barack Obama was a asshole demon, one of the worst presidents they ever had. But he sort of like brought people together, right? Oh, so because even if you were so-called a Republican, right, but you were a minority, as they call it, you was flocking to him. He had a way with words, Meanwhile, he was just a complete asshole demon, but he just was a very charismatic actor. So he sort of had everybody together, It was kind of like taboo to say you don't fuck with Obama. You'd look like, oh, you don't fuck with Obama, Jake will get emotional about it. But this dude, he brings the animosity to the point, man. It's almost taboo, or you get gaslighted and you say, yo, man, I fuck with Trump. When Trump was in there, I was making money. You could, people, with power, the narrative is, man, you a racist now if you fuck with Trump and so on. So there you go. It says, if Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because ye say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub. So this man's system ain't gonna stand. It's not gonna stand because it's a divided kingdom. You see? Even amongst these Edomites, they're divided. I'm gonna skip Matthews because Matthews is saying the same thing. Even amongst you Edomites, you're divided. I'm gonna go into that, man. I'm talking about the nation of Esau, Edom, all right, which are the so-called white people today that rule parts of Europe like Russia, right? And you have Edomites in France, Germany, and you got Edomites ruling America. They all fighting against each other, man. You see? In our kingdom, we all gonna be Israelites. It's gonna be complete peace. But they all fighting against each other. That's why now it says in the book of Isaiah 19:2, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Because a lot of these rallies, all right, you don't see much Jake in the crowd. It's like a big thing to see a Jake in the crowd. It's a lot of Edomites doing this shit. A lot of them too are agent provocateurs, right? When you watch this video, this was put up like 23 hours ago. Let me put it down so you can see the title. It's called Supporters Rally at Mar-a-Lago after Trump's indictment, right? So they're trying to lock this dude up. You have one person, I believe the Washington Post leans left. You have one person out there that was saying he should get locked up, but that person could be an agent, hoping to get attacked to, stir up another narrative. So, but you mainly see Edomites against Edomites out there. Why? Because Edomites have a very vested interest in this country. A lot of them learn the politics, learn what's going on and shit, and they seeing their so-called kingdom fall. So they look at this guy, Trump, Nero, all right, as a beacon to save it. So they trying to fight it, but you niggas out here, y'all don't really know what the hell is going on, right? Y'all just, whatever the media say, yo, Obama back, we need Obama back. Y'all don't even know nothing about politics. Some Jakes do, but a majority of Jakes don't. Said I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. Now it's gonna escalate. Right now you're seeing signs and tickets and shit like that, but it's gonna come to a point where, look, man, it's gonna be guns, especially when martial law takes place. They start putting that chip in there. Because a lot of these Trump supporters, they ain't going to go for no fucking chip. Which is the mark of the beast. They're going to be fighting and rallying. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. Yeah, and when you go in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, it tells you that. They're going to be fighting one another with swords in their hands. Like I said, right now it's signs, but soon it's going to be weapons. It's going to get that crazy out here. It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. And Egypt, this place will fail. Just like how we told you years ago, through the spirit of the Lord, that the grinding is going to cease. And in 2020, that happened. A lot of businesses got shut down. This shit was crazy out here. See? It says, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirit. And so what's it? So when this place goes down, they're going to be doing their different enchantments, trying to pray to the different deities. But guess what? It's prophesied that this place is going to go down. Isaiah 55:11. The words of the Lord don't go out void, man. America is going to circle the drain eventually, man. All right? All the pieces, like the Lord is, how you set up the domino pieces, and then when you're done, you just tip one off and everything starts falling. So the domino pieces are falling, man. See? You can't stop the prophecies. It's going to be a very exciting 2024 to see who get up in there, And like I said, if Nero get back in, if Trump get back up in there, it's going to get crazy. And remember how I was saying earlier how a lot of these different Edomites, they're all Edomites, but they hate one another, mainly America. When you read the book of Revelation 17 and 16, it says, and the 10 horns, now who are the 10 horns? The 10 horns represents NATO and the EU, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Now who's the whore? America. Now granted, NATO is 76% of NATO's army is made up by the United States, and the United States use NATO as a proxy, right? That's another reason that these nations are going to get mad, because what the United States do is this. They'll, like, let's say they got beef with Russia, right? What they'll do is they'll say, yo, let's get Ukraine as a part of NATO. And they're just using Ukraine because if Ukraine is a part of NATO, now you could put, military bases and missiles and all that right on Russia's borders. So they playing these nations to get closer to bigger nations. Like they're trying to get Taiwan They already got, I believe, if you look at it, these little NATO nations really have nothing to offer NATO. But why do they use them? Because it's strategic warfare. And the nations are gonna reflect on that and start to hate this bitch, man. Like, wait a minute, man, we going against our brothers. Why the hell are we joining NATO for some little money to go against our brothers when America's just using us? You see? The CIA does something called regime change. So they'll stage little coups and little protests in countries, all right, create false discourses, all right, that they may put their leaders in. And the nations are also waking up to that. That the United States is going around policing the world, over 1,000 bases in all these different countries, telling people what to do, how to think. You already saw the last show I did. Uganda is saying fuck that LGBTQ shit, and passing laws against it. So all the nations are getting tired of the wine that America is pushing upon them, and tired of the fact that they're using their lands and resources to have them fight against their own brothers and put military bases, all right, on the borders of their enemies, all right. So it says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall make her desolate and naked. Because when you go into the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter, it says that that woman passed over the waters, right? And they saw her secret parts, the waters. Now, when you read up in Revelations, I believe 17:5, should be 15, maybe Revelation 17:15. It says, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So the waters are seeing up this woman's skirt with her secret parts is these nations seeing all the rape, atrocities, murders, and bullshit that America has done, man. Backstabbings, all her sins. All right, so there's going to come a great hatred towards America. And like I said, these are all Edomites, man. A lot of these nations are being run by Edomites, going against Edomites. Okay? It says, make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. It says, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So at the end of the day, this great whore, America, all right, all the allies are going to turn back. And that shows you that this king, not only America is divided, but these Edomites as a whole, they're divided, man. You see? Even America's tightest allies, Great Britain, is going to turn their back on America. This is Jeremiah 50:12. It says your mother. Now, why is it? Who's the mother of America? Britain. America came out of Britain. You see? Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. So Britain, the greatest ally, is going to turn their back on America eventually. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. So there's division here in America, and there's a division amongst Esau's kingdom as a whole. All these different nations, you see? Instead of them being truly unison in this so-called New World Order, they do backstabbing, they do deals. All right, some are backing Trump, some want the left, some want this, some want that. Let's chip them now. No, let's wait. So that's the Most High stirring the shit up, amongst them. Why? So prophecies could be fulfilled, man. So they could shoot these missiles on each other. All right, and bring in our kingdom, Yahweh's kingdom, pardon me, with us being joined is. So, like I said, 2024, time is moving fast. We're in 2023 now. A lot could happen in a year. A lot could happen in 1 year from now. Let's see if they indict him. Let's see where this thing goes, man. That's the Most High making the controversies and things happen right now. So we're in some exciting times, brothers. And Lord willing, our salvation is that much closer. With that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rachakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone which do well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to the Dakim that do this in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.